I have to tell you about my package of meat, or packages. Whoops. I got all of this from 7 pounds of meat. I cut it all myself. You can get this at the grocery store, and it's pretty cheap, and it tastes great whenever you cook it up. It's endless possibilities for a cheap, affordable cut of meat. Let me show you how. All right, so a trick is if you want to keep your boards from kind of wobbling around as you're cutting, which is a little safer, just put a towel down underneath it. Good little trick. So I went to the store and I bought this huge eye of round. Now, typically you can buy the steaks in slices, but I like to buy it in whole sometimes just because I can get more out of it. And with this cheaper piece of meat, we're gonna get at least 2 roasts, and then it looks like we're gonna be about 4 steaks, or about 1 inch to 1.5 inches a piece. We could cut this whole thing up as a steak if we wanted to. You can just use the whole thing as a roast. You can use it the whole thing for beef jerky, so one good option, stir fry. You can use it for ground beef. I mean, it's the leg of the cow, so you really can't do much that you will mess up with. It's all gonna taste pretty good. Okay, so we've got 7 pounds of meat here that we want to cut up. They suggest taking off your rings and watches and stuff because you're going to be touching blood and it'll get everywhere, or it could get everywhere. But with that being said, just kind of safety first, we make sure we wash our hands because we are going to be touching raw meat, and then we'll pull the meat out of the bag, let it kind of drain off, and then we're going to pat it dry and we'll start slicing it up. So this isn't a vacuum sealed bag, which means it's not openly exposed to the air, which is like most of the stuff that you see in the store. So it's been sitting here aging in that, so it's able to age in its own juices. Whoops. No bacteria from outside of the environment that it was butchered and packaged in. All right. Blue Man's hungry. He smells beef. He says, "Hey Dad, where's the beef? I smell it, but I don't see it." So it's just a little easier to manage. I just grabbed some paper towel and I'll pat it dry just so I can work with it. There'll still be some juices in it as we're cutting, but won't be as many as we're kind of sitting in the bag and it's just soaking in its own. So we'll be able to do this a little cleaner. Look at that. That is beautiful. We are going to trim it up first. We're gonna take a lot of this that you see here, the connective tissues, a lot of this excess fat that's just unnecessary. We're gonna leave this piece here for the most part. I might look to see how much thicker it is right in here, trim a little bit of it off because we don't want too much on there, but it should give us a nice few pieces of steak. Should get about, I think, 2 roasts in here. I can definitely cut that piece right there off. You can see it coming apart right there already for me. So I can just come through, but I'm gonna slice it and square this up so we have nice even cuts across the middle. So this is kind of a tedious project, but if you're delicate, you can get the meat off, and you're gonna have like a few pieces like this that are gonna come loose. That's okay. We can save this and use it to make, you know, like a baby stock, or, you know, if we want to make a gravy or something, we can take these little bits and the connective tissue and all and render it down. Boom, look at that. Very, somewhat of a thin layer, but connective tissue as well. Blue Man's ready for some food too. So I've just got a bowl. We're gonna put the connective tissues and that leftover meat and trimmings in here. I'm gonna take a look at this fat cap, see if I can pull any of it off here. I don't want all of it. I just want a little bit off, but yeah. Looks pretty good to me. I'm gonna let that cap be right there. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break it up into 3 sections. It's gonna be a section here. We're gonna do a section here, and then this section is gonna be steaks. So I'm gonna have 2 roasts, and then I'm gonna have a couple of steaks, probably 3 to 4 steaks in here, depending on the size. So we'll just go ahead and knock this part off. Look at the inside of that. That looks good. Two good little chunks of roast right there. Okay, so now that we've got the two roasts here, we're gonna take this kind of squared up piece of meat, almost looks like a nice prime rib, and then I'm gonna space it out. Looks like I'm gonna get 3 good quality steaks that are about 1.5 inches wide. So that's gonna be good enough for me. I can make them just a slight bit smaller and see if I can pull out 4 of them, but let's see what we can get. So I'm gonna start right about here. 1, 2, 3, look at that, 4 and 5 right down the middle. I think those are pretty evenly cut steaks. I got 5 out of it. Now, you're gonna see how that kind of breaks up like a roast would. That's okay. Still gonna taste really, really good. You shouldn't worry too much about that. You'll season it, and when you sear it, all those tissues will come together. It is gonna have probably a little bit of a richer flavor than you're normally used to with a steak. Probably a little more beefier, but salt and pepper, easy to go. Throw it on your grill. That's a good quality piece of meat. You know, it's almost just it's a shame we have to go out there and buy those overpriced cuts of meat that are prepackaged in the store for us. So how do we store this meat whenever we're done cutting it up? Well, vac sealing's the best way to go. You can get your bags pretty cheap on Amazon. You don't have to buy the ones out of the store. They're double the price, which is insane to me. This is the cheapest alternative to be able to store your meat for a longer period of time than your normal Ziploc bags are gonna hold for you. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and grab some of these, vac seal them up, and then put them in the freezer so we can use them for later. And yeah, it's pretty simple. Also, if you've got a sous vide, you can take the packaged vacuum sealed bags, just throw them in the water with the sous vide once you're ready to start cooking. If you've either prepackaged your entire beef stew together, or you have your little packets of steaks that you want at a certain temperature to come out exactly the way you want it, and all you need to do is seasoning. Snip the bag back open, seal it back, throw it in the water bath in the sous vide, and it's good to go. And it'll taste great too. Okay, so we finished up. So let's count it out. We've got 1 roast, 1 steak, 2 more steaks, so that's 3 total, 4 and 5. We've got our trimmings that we can use for, I'm gonna try to make some stock with these trimmings because there's a little bit of fat left in there, as well as that beefy taste should be well. And then we got another roast. So I think that's a good solution to be able to break down your own eye of round, and anybody can do this at home. It'll give you a little bit of extra meat. I paid about 20 bucks for this cut, and look how much I got. Well, that's it for me now. We've got our steaks. Probably gonna go whip up some dinner now, but feel free to do whatever you'd like. I'll throw a couple of options together, and we'll get some videos cranked out on what we can use each of these cuts of meat for. Let me know if there's something that you're interested, you'd like to see out of this. Make sure to like and subscribe, guys. We'll see you next time.